What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is episode 5 of the Dark MAGA podcast. I am Cav, known as Patriotic Cav on the interwebs, at Patriotic_Cav on all social media. That's YouTube, Rumble, TikTok, at Patriotic_Cav. And we're just going to get right into it. There's been a leak by a Harris staffer. Seems like they accidentally posted a video, which, look, nothing's ever certain. A lot of fake stuff going around, but it looks very, very likely that they are picking Josh Shapiro as the vice president ticket. So it'll be a Harris Shapiro ticket. Not surprising at all. That's literally everything's been pointing towards her and Shapiro. He's been doing a lot of speeches for her lately, so it's shocking at all. I think anybody could make that guess. But Josh Shapiro, he's not just a little midget weasel, a little punk who I can't stand. And if you guys see my show before, you know I can't stand him. But he's in some crazy stuff. There's all this money laundering stuff coming out with Act Blue and sketchy donations. I mean, every politician probably on both sides has some kind of sketchy donations going on. But it's not looking great. And it's crazy murder case that he tried covering it up. We'll just get right into that real quick before we get into some of these clips. Ellen Greenberg was stabbed 10 times in the chest, 10 times in the back. 2 were post-mortem. Josh Shapiro's office ruled this as a suicide. Why is Josh Shapiro covering up for this murder? Does it have to do with her fiance's well-connected family in Philadelphia politics? There's always a connection. Yeah, so this woman stabbed 20 times. 2 of them post-mortem. It's a suicide. How do you stab yourself in the back? And how do you stab yourself post-mortem? A suicide? How did that immediately not throw up flags? We got a little clip here to kind of explain it a little bit better, and then we'll comment on it further.
Greenberg will now go to the Pennsylvania Supreme Court. The 28-year-old teacher was found dead inside her Manayunk apartment with 20 stab wounds in 2011. Her death was ruled a suicide, but her parents believe she was murdered.
The AG's office, led by Josh Shapiro, has long insisted evidence proves the 27-year-old died by suicide, but the Greenbergs are convinced she was murdered, and they're currently suing the city's medical examiner with the hope of reopening the case.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard today's edition, Human Events Daily, here live, Butler, Pennsylvania. Today is August 2nd, 2024, Anno Domini. Folks, the receipts hole on Josh Shapiro keeps getting deeper and deeper and deeper. Yesterday, we covered a little bit, we'll get into more of it today, the case of Ellen Greenberg, the horrific stabbing death that she received in 2011, just outside Manayunk, Pennsylvania, which is in the Philadelphia area, East Falls, where she was found stabbed 10 times in the front, 10 times in the back, including the back of her head, including her spinal column, twice, according to testimony from medical examiners, post-mortem. And yet Josh Shapiro signed off on this being a suicide. And why would he do that?
Crazy.
Does it have to do with potential connections that her fiance had to powerful members of the Pennsylvania legal community? Just some basic questions that we don't seem to have gotten answers to, and that Josh Shapiro doesn't seem to want to give us answers to. Why is it then that the family of Ellen Greenberg has tried for 13 years to just get some semblance of an investigation going? And yet when you go to Josh Shapiro's office, when he was the Attorney General, Josh Shapiro would just tell you, oh, no, just a suicide. There's nothing to see here. It seems like there's a lot to see here, but Josh Shapiro doesn't want you to see that. The same way that he doesn't want you to know about the sexual harassment going on in his own office that was perpetuated by one of his cabinet members, a guy by the name of Mike Vereb. Mike Vereb, a former Republican who decided to become a traitor and go and work for a Democrat governor. The same Mike Vereb from Montgomery County, Pennsylvania, that I used to see walking around blitzed drunk out of his mind in Walmart. Yes, that is the same Mike Vereb. So it doesn't surprise me at all that this absolute lush would take the same philandering behavior to the state house, to the cabinet, when he decided to throw in with Josh Shapiro, stab his own party in the back, and then decide to go and commit sexual harassment, the same way that he doesn't seem to have any loyalty to his own party.
All right, we get it. It kind of goes on and on. I just wanted to cover the murder part. Yeah, it is a lot of sketchy stuff coming out of that. Suicide? Stabbed over 20 times, 2 of them post-mortem, and it's a suicide? Does anyone actually believe that? Why would they deem it a suicide, and why are they fighting like hell to keep from anyone looking even further? So we'll see how that's going. They got the lawsuit going on right now. That's going to be more exposed going over the future. Any new stories, I'll definitely update you guys. That's all we got for now. But that is crazy. I shared it on my X if you want to go read it at patriotic_Cav. That's not all we got. Josh Shapiro. So JD Vance was kind of mocking Shapiro a little bit for doing his Obama voice, which he really was. I thought for a quick second like he was trying to be funny, like try to be like, because it sounded like he was trying to be Obama. Everyone caught on it, so it was worth noting out. A reporter asked Josh Shapiro about it. And a little scum. He's got such a villainy look to him. Just a scumbag. I mean, here he is.
Question. Governor, JD Vance just said this about you, and these are his words, quote, he compared you to a really bad impression of Barack Obama. What is your response to that?
Is that what he said? That's great. I love how we get the real-time quotes here. I mean, look, I don't know. Barack Obama was probably our most gifted orator of my time, so it's kind of a weird insult, I guess. But look, I'll say this about JD Vance. It is real hard being honest with the American people when you're not being honest with yourself. JD Vance is a total phony baloney. He is the most inorganic candidate I think I have ever seen on the national stage.
Have you seen Harris?
He doesn't know what he believes, and that is why it is impossible for him to articulate a coherent message to the American people, because he doesn't believe it. This guy is not exactly off to a good start, and it is clear that Donald Trump really has buyer's remorse with his pick. So if he wants to sling insults in my direction, which I'm not even sure is an insult, let him do it. That's fine. Bring it on. I'll be ready for whatever the hell JD Vance throws my direction.
They keep saying Trump has buyer's remorse. Chuck Schumer, saying like, oh, even Trump's regretting this. He needs to tell JD Vance to step down. And where are they getting that from? That has never been true. Trump's never said that. He continues to this day to speak very, very high of JD Vance. I think the Trump team can do a lot better job of promoting JD Vance's story. He has a hell of a story, a true American dream story. Going from, you guys got to watch the Hillbilly Elegy movie. Excellent movie. Read the book if you can. They got the audio book on Spotify, and I'm sure you can get it other places too. He has a hell of a story. Again, it is truly the American dream, working from nothing, like poor of the poor of the poor, hard-working family. Just coming from a broken family, his mom being an addict, 10 years sober now, being pretty much raised by his grandma, as he says, me mom. Amazing story, and they really got to do a better job. They gotta recalibrate Team Trump. Stop focusing so much on whether Kamala's black or Indian or whatever, all the trivial stuff. Again, like I said in the last episode, the memers will deal with that. The memers will deal with the mocking her laugh and all that. You guys just stick with the policies. Talk about the border. Talk about the economy. Because it's going to be a tough election. Everyone's like, oh, Harris, she's stupid, man. She's dumb. Like, we're going to... It's a red wave. First of all, anybody who says red wave, red landslide, tsunami, you're a freaking idiot. You're stupid. Shut up. I hate hearing conservatives saying, red wave, it's going to be a red wave. When has that ever been true? decades and decades and decades ago, maybe Reagan. It's a red tsunami. All that does is make conservatives lazy. Conservatives are insanely lazy. They do not want to get out and vote. I live in such a blue area, my vote doesn't matter. I live in such a red area, my vote doesn't matter. First of all, no matter where you live, you add to the popular vote, so it matters no matter what. And if everybody who thought that went out and voted, you could change some blue states red. You could definitely change some blue counties red. That matters. Every single vote matters. Anyone says, oh, my vote's useless, who cares? You're an idiot. I'm sorry to be harsh. It's tough love. I mean, I love my fellow Americans and conservatives, but it's just conservatives look for any excuse to stay home. We have a hard time getting people out to vote. It's not Trump versus Harris. Is we the people versus a machine, this cabal of just evil demons that want to destroy our very way of life. And I truly believe if Kamala Harris gets elected, we will witness the end of the United States of America. Our liberties and freedom will be gone. She already said she wants to literally take your guns, confiscate them. She flat out said it. Take away the guns first. Worry about the rest later. But I don't like Trump. He's not perfect. There's no perfect human being. They don't exist. There's no human being on this planet that you're going to agree with 100% of the time. You have to play the cards you were dealt. Maybe you wanted this candidate. Maybe you wanted that candidate. He lost. That sucks. Boo-hoo. But you see what the other side is. You see they're full-blown communists. You had communists marching in the streets of Philadelphia the other day. Left-wingers. Democrats. The hammer and sickle, which should be treated the same as any, white supremacist Nazi rally. They see one guy with a, Nazi flag. It's all over every newspaper, magazines, everywhere, as it should be. It's an evil symbol. But the hammer and sickle should be just the same, treated just the same. And it's crazy that it's not. We literally had Democrats marching with the hammer and sickle in Philadelphia just the other day. Nobody talks about it. It's nowhere. So my point being no excuses, no red wave, shut up, just get out and vote. I don't want to hear one more Republican say red wave. It is going to be close if we even pull this off. There's going to be no landslide if Trump wins. If he somehow wins. And I think if the elections were clean, 100% clean, no fraud whatsoever in any shape or form, yeah, he could probably dominate. We could possibly see a landslide. But unfortunately, we do have the rigging. We do have the Democrats have a monopoly on the elections, riddled with just corruption and filth. So it's going to be close. It's going to be very, very close. It's going to be a nail biter. Get out and vote. You go, I live here, and just go out and vote. But the city, just go out and vote. I don't want to hear excuses. I don't care where you live. The bluest area, the reddest area, it doesn't matter. Go out and vote. We'll get back to JD Vance real quick. He had an amazing quote. We played this the other day, but I think it's worth repeating. And he's loosening up a bit. He's getting better with his speeches. And he's got to keep doing stuff like this because this is powerful. This is strong. And this is where he's thriving.
I saw the other day Kamala Harris questioned my loyalty to this country. That's the word she used, loyalty. And it's an interesting word, simplify, loyalty, because there is no greater sign of disloyalty to this country than what Kamala Harris has done at our southern border. And I'd like to ask the Vice President, what has she done to question my loyalty to this country? I served in the United States Marine Corps. I went to Iraq for this country. I built a business for this country. And my running mate took a bullet for this country. So my question to Kamala Harris is, what the hell have you done to question our loyalty to the United States of America?
Preach it. Hell yeah, he's right. You got Trump, most targeted man, most prosecuted man ever. They tried to throw him in jail. That didn't work. They tried to completely take him off the ballot. That didn't work. Then they tried to kill him. JD Vance is an amazing American story. It's a perfect duo, and hopefully they find their connection soon. They link up. Because they could do it. They could pull it off. Go with one or two more clips from JD Vance. A reporter asked him about Trump's comments at the National Association of Black Journalists. And you got to give Trump credit for going to Lion's Den. Do you know anybody else that does that? Kamala Harris and Joe Biden, they don't go on Fox. They don't go on stage at some kind of right-wing event. You'll never catch them on Fox unless they have someone like Chris Wallace interview them. But here he goes, going toe-to-toe with a CNN correspondent.
The former president's comments yesterday to the National Association of Black Journalists, where he said that Vice President Harris is, quote, all of a sudden black. As a father of 3 biracial children, did those comments give you pause at all?
They don't give me pause at all. Look, all he said is that Kamala Harris is a chameleon. She goes to Georgia 2 days ago. She was raised in Canada. She puts on a fake Southern accent. She is everything to everybody, and she pretends to be somebody different depending on which audience she's in front of. I think it's totally reasonable for the president to call that out, and that's all he did. I mean, look, she's running as a tough-on-crime prosecutor, even though she implemented open border policies. She's saying that she wants to support the police, yet she wanted to defund the police just 3 years ago. It's totally reasonable to call out the fact that she pretends to be somebody different depending on the audience she's talking to.
That was a freaking excellent answer. You know, he didn't waste too much time on the trivial stuff, like, you know, well, I don't know, is she black? No, he got right to it. She's a liar, and that's what he was pointing out. You know, he kind of blended the kind of trivial stuff, you know, about, you know, whether she's, you know, black or Southern or she's Canadian or she's this. He's trying to say that what was the line? That she's everything to everybody or anything to everybody, as in what Joe Biden does. Talks to a football team. Oh, I played football. You know, oh, you're from the South, so am I. Yeah. Oh, you're from Georgia, so am I. Oh, you're from a black church? I went to a black church. Like, they always have to relate to them somehow. They have to find some kind of connection. And Trump never did that. He's never phony. He just says, look, here I am. Here's my policies. You like it or not. He doesn't try to trick you like Kamala Harris or what the hell's her name? Hillary Clinton talk about Pokemon Go. Joe Biden plays Mario. No, he doesn't. Shut up. That old coot doesn't play Mario Kart. He could not focus on Mario Kart. Are you kidding me? And JD Vance got to the point, talked about her border policies. Okay, brilliant answer. Brilliant. But we'll do a part 2, guys. I have a kind of family thing that just popped up right now, so I got to cut it short. Family comes first, so appreciate you guys listening. Give a 5-star review if you could. Like, subscribe, share where you're listening. I'm at patriotic_Cav on all social media platforms. Appreciate you guys. See you guys on the next episode.